All right, let's talk about maps. Today, we're going to totally rethink how we see the world. And spoiler alert, the map you know is just the beginning. Okay, quick exercise. When I say world map, what pops into your head? I'm willing to bet it's that classic seven-continent view, right? You know, the one from our elementary school classrooms. It feels so official, so permanent. But what if that's just one version of the story? What if the lines on that map are way more flexible than we think? Because honestly, they are. Geographers, economists, you name it, they're always redrawing the world, and it gets pretty wild.
So, Section 1, Drawing the First Lines. Let's start with the basics. How do we even begin to draw these lines? What are the rules here?
Okay, the big idea here is something called a world region. Now, the textbook definition is a place with, shared characteristics. But here's the kicker. The boundaries aren't always fixed. Think about that. A region isn't just a chunk of land. It's more like an idea, a label we use to group similar things together. So, how do we cook up these regions? What are the ingredients? Well, sometimes it's simple, right? Physical stuff, like a mountain range or an ocean. But honestly, most of the time, it's about people. It's about how we connect through politics, through culture, through trade. It's a human thing.
Okay, Section 2, Blurring the Boundaries. We've got the basic rules down. Now let's get ready to break them. This is where things get really fun and, frankly, a lot more realistic.
So remember that simple seven-continent map we talked about? It's a great starting point for sure, but it just can't capture the whole picture. The world's just messy, It's way too complex for such neat little boxes. This is a perfect example. Look at Africa. Huge continent, right? But if you're, say, studying economic trends or climate, you might need to get more specific. So we draw a new line and create a subregion called Sub-Saharan Africa. Suddenly, our dividing line isn't a coastline, it's a desert. We've just made a new map to answer a new question. And check this out. Sometimes regions just completely ignore the continents. Think about the Middle East. Is it a continent? Nope. It's a concept, a region that stretches across parts of both Asia and Africa, all tied together by history and culture. Same deal with Latin America and the Caribbean. This isn't about one solid piece of land. It's a cultural region. What connects them is a shared history, shared languages. It spans continents and a whole bunch of islands. It's an idea. And then things get really interesting. Sometimes it's not about culture or land. It's about money. The East Asia and Pacific region is a great example. You've got giants like China and Japan lumped in with Australia, a whole different continent. Why? It's all about trade. The Pacific Ocean is their shared economic highway.
Okay, so we've bent the rules of geography. We've drawn lines across continents and inside of them. But what if we just toss geography out the window completely?
Seriously, think about a geopolitical group like NATO. The countries in it aren't all neighbors. What connects them is a political and military agreement. Or what about a term like emerging markets? That's an economic region that groups countries from all over the globe based on their growth potential. These maps aren't made of land and water. They're made of ideas and strategies. So that brings us to Section 3, a world of lenses. We've got all these different maps. They're overlapping. They sometimes even contradict each other. So which one is the right one? Well, that question leads us to the most important takeaway of all. And here it is. None of them are wrong. They're just different tools for different jobs. A map showing you earthquake fault lines is just as right as a map showing you global internet speeds. It's better to think of them as different lenses. Each lens lets you see the world in a specific way, bringing one particular aspect into sharp focus. And, the thinking behind this explainer really nails it with this one line. It says that breaking the world into regions is a tool for organization and analysis. That's it right there. It's a tool. It's not the absolute truth. It's a way to make sense of things. So the key, really, is understanding what question you're trying to answer. Want to study climate? You need one kind of map. Want to follow the money in global trade? You need a completely different one. See? The right map is the one that fits your question. It's all about perspective. So, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. From now on, whenever you see a map or hear someone talk about a region, the Middle East, Latin America, whatever, I want you to pause for a second. Ask yourself, okay, who drew these lines and what story are they trying to tell with this particular map? It'll change the way you see the world. Thanks for tuning in.